Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Open Great League with a lot of action by an ABA team style with Umbreon as our safe switch, Double Ghost here with Jellicent up on the lead, at the back the Frostlass as our main closer, and this team is gonna be one of the best ones that you can use. So my brother actually decided to use this team just for fun and it worked, so that's why I'm gonna showcase it today, and we're having now the Frostlass coming up pretty clutch up against that Tropius, and I bet they did not expect a second ghost type at all. So I'm expecting that Bastion to return, but I threw anyways because I know that they're gonna farm me down at any point and I did not want to risk it using a shield actually up against a Razor Leafer, while I have an amazing team to counter this particular line for sure. Expecting a Shadow Victreebel to be honest as the third since I saw that Tropius, and yeah, it is gonna be this one. So now we can reach to those foul plays back to back to get those shields out of play, and because we're having two shields I feel very comfortable here that I can easily reach to my next move, grab that next shield out of the way, and perhaps then we can finish them off with our Jellicent. So let's see how this is gonna unfold, because my final foul play is imminent. They are gonna block according to plan. I'm just gonna switch out to my Jellicent with the Surf to finish them off and do one more to secure the victory up against the Bastiodon on a very easy win to start off the video. Into the next one now, and we're facing a trainer that has way over 800k subscribers here, so yeah, that is absolutely amazing here on YouTube. Having a very bad lead against that Noctowl, and on the switch we're met up with the Ninetales. We need to pressure a lot here because they're Shadow, they're gonna take a lot of damage, almost 50% per foul play, which means now that my next foul play will not be appreciated by my opponent. They have to start blocking. They're getting a little bit too greedy here, so that gives me some time to get to another one, and I believe that they still have to throw if they want to take any advantage on this battle, since they know that we have the Jellicent. They want to keep that Noctowl over my Pokemon. I'm not expecting a Solar Beam to be honest, so that's why I'm just gonna let that go through, and they have at the back the Lantern. What this means is that we can safely stay in, no reason to panic, no reason to go for that extra mile, just gonna throw whenever I can, and I'm just gonna take the Thunderbolt to feint at some point. With two shields, while they have none, my Frostlass can absolutely go down, especially when we know that they have something like a Noctowl at the back. So we end up using that Shadow Ball and they end up taking it, so down goes that Lantern. We have so much energy to spare and still one shield to go. So I'm just gonna overfarm, expecting the switch at some point. Now I'm gonna throw, and of course now they're gonna go for the switch, but anyways we still have the upper hand because of how crazily good our Pokemon can be with Bastiodon out of the way or Stunfisk. So we're just gonna land the big nuke on that Noctowl, and of course right after we will be much faster on that farm down, especially with that weird and vast HP difference. Trevenant is one of those Pokemons that you are gonna be afraid with this team, because you got a Ghost type up in front and a Frostlass at the back. So yeah, you can see as to how this Pokemon can be a troublemaker, especially up on the lane, but it's totally playable because on the end of the battle you might have your Shadow Ball ready to go, you might have your Powder Snows in combination with a simple Avalanche to take care of that threat. I believe that something like an Obstacle will be a bigger threat, and trust me, we're gonna see that option as well in a while. Anyways, we're having a very bad lead. We're gonna switch out to the Umbreon because it's gonna be our main safe switch, and we're gonna be met up with a Stunfisk. So at this point we have to go ahead and take all those Rock Slides, while our foul play will be our main way to go. They're gonna block here, which is pretty neat for me. I'm just gonna take the moves, whatever they throw, down I go, and now my Jellicent will farm some crucial energy so that I might have a chance up against that Trevenant and whatever they have at the back with that shield advantage. However, they end up having the Lantern, and this is not looking that great for me. It is still playable, and it's all up to the Frostlass, to be honest. Not gonna block anything because they might want to bait here, but they are not, of course. So down we go to the Thunderbolt. We need to be extremely careful here to those moves because we cannot take more than one. Gonna farm up to that CMP point. Now we can throw the Shadow Ball, and they have to take it, to be honest, and relying a lot on the Trevenant. This is a a race to the double move. Who is gonna reach it first? Because we're already there. I think we need one more, right? And they also need one more. So let's see if we can absolutely take this win. And no, we cannot. Just a simple powder snow left to go for that win. So you can see that even a very bad lead, we still have a lot of play with this line. Shadow Dragonite is gonna be our next opponent, and we're having a nice time with our Jellicent. However, those Dragon Breaths from a Shadow Dragonite are hurting a lot. Dragon Claw here can be taken, and right after we're gonna do the same move by switching out to our safe switch. However, they're having that Lantern while we got the amazing Umbreon coming in pretty clutch here. Whatever they throw can be taken, whatever we throw can be taken from their side as well. So this is a bulky matchup with two completely different Pokemon with different weaknesses, but against each other it is kinda hitting a wall with your own wall. Yeah, this is never gonna end. Something like the Metabot showdown with us and the Bugcatcher on the very early days of the video of the anime. Come on, Ganeto, you got this. But yeah, anyways, they end up catching the move on that Medicham, and before we throw our final foul play, we're gonna keep it for the end game. We're having the Shadow Ball from our Jellicent and the Surf for the back-to-back combo to finish off the Medi, grab the shield from the Dragonite, and now Frostless can easily commit to the farm down. After we block just once here, they cannot have more energy than that, so down they go, and yeah, that is gonna secure our victory for this battle. Into the next one, and we're having another core breaker for this team, this being the amazing Chestnaught. So Chestnaught has Frenzy Plant for our Jellicent, and of course it has Superpower for our Umbreon here, so whatever we bring, it is most likely gonna get wrecked. However, they end up switching out now to their Pokemon, and they might want it to catch something like a last resort, but I was gonna go anyways for the bait because of all those debuffs that they were having, and now they have to spend a shield at least once if they want to have any chance at all up against us. It seems like that my Jellicent has a Surf ready to go, and before they reach to the Shadow Ball, we can manipulate this matchup and bring them to no HP with that double shield that we got for our Frostless remaining for the end game. Avalanche here will most likely take out this Chestnaught. They stand no chance at all. At the back they have the Charizard, and all we have to do here is to commit to the extra farm before they reach to the Dragon Claw. They need 5 of those moves, of those wing attacks to reach to the Dragon Claw, while they need 4 for the second. And now the Chestnaught returns, and with the proper energy management we managed to bring a back-to-back Avalanche to the Charizard and the Chestnaught to finish them off. Pidgeot in the next one, horrible lead scenario. However, we need to stay in, and let's see if we can take a shield out of them with a potential Ice Beam, because Ice Beam is still meta relevant. However, I decide to switch out after I reach to the Shadow Ball range or the Ice Beam range, and I'm gonna bring my Umbreon into play. Gonna get immediately to that foul play. However, we're gonna lose that CMP against that Pokemon, and especially the Feather Dance is gonna debuff us a lot, which is pretty tricky for our team. At the back they have a Galarian Stunfisk, and all we have to do here is to stay in, tank those moves, and do as much damage as possible from our Umbreon to their Fisk. What I want to also do here though is to stall a little bit more, since I know that their switch timer is not up yet, so that I can tank one move for sure with my Jellicent and still bring them to no HP with another Surf coming up against this Fisk. I know that now that they're gonna return to the battle with their Pidgeot. However, they bring something like a Jellicent of their own, which is pretty tricky, and now we got the Umbreon with all those energy points to be amazing on this scenario. So let's see if they decide to go ahead and try to catch a move or just finish us off. Gonna take, I believe, the move here. No, I'm just gonna block. Okay, impressive move, Ganeto, well done. And now I'm gonna use the foul play, but they end up catching on their Pidgeot. High skilled battles here with a lot of cuts, a lot of rotations between the teams, and of course now we're having the Feather Dance, which is gonna be cold, and we don't care at all. This is gonna be just a Surf, and at this point I'm feeling pretty comfortable that I can reach to that double move. One for the shield, one for the knockout, but will this be enough? Let's see together, trainers, and it is not. So Umbreon now can go in, but with that shield that we got, we can safely reach to the move and bring them to no HP. You can see that even a Noctowl against a Pidgeot against another flyer, we still have a lot of solutions with this line. So into the next one, we're having a flyer as we have just said, and it is gonna be the Altaria. So reaching to the Shadow Ball might just be the key here, because it's gonna do so much damage, and of course it is always at the same amount of energy with an Ice Beam, which is pretty neat. We can always threat them with that scenario. It seems like they were afraid of a potential Ice Beam, so they end up shielding, and now my Umbreon can go in pretty clutch up against that Altaria. I'm not gonna shield even a Moonblast, so I'm just gonna let it go through. They end up going for the Sky Attack, which is pretty neat, and now we can pressure even more up against that Altaria. Another move is coming up. Are they gonna double shield here, because they did not switch at all? Are they so much afraid of my Umbreon at the back? Let's see together, because the next Pokemon is imminent after my complete farm down with my Umbreon. I want to keep with my Frostlass, excuse me, I want to keep the Umbreon for the end game for sure, even with that little amount of HP left. Now we can reach to the Shadow Ball for big damage on that Swampert, and the farm down at the back they have a Trevenant, and we stand correct. That's why they did not switch at all, because they were kinda weak to my Umbreon, and that's gonna be the final victory to an amazing video. Thank you for watching, trainers. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and if you want to support even more, well, joining as a member can always help with that matter. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers!